I'm just going to pass on to Wuraola. I want her to introduce herself. I have her here. No, I'm not going to say it. She will tell us who she is herself. I'm just excited, and I know that I am going to learn as much as you are going to learn today. I know that you have your reasons for coming. Okay, so I'm just going to hand over to Wuraola to tell us about herself, what she does, and then she can take us away today.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Wuraola Ogundipe, and I'm super excited to be here. And it's nice seeing some people's faces and also hearing from them before starting my session this evening. Like I said, my name is Wuraola, and this is my popular name, Meet with Wuraola, and I'm a finance person. By profession, I'm an accountant, and I love teaching people about financial literacy, and I love teaching kids and teens about financial literacy. That's basically what I love doing. So aside being an accountant, helping business people and the older ones, I love teaching kids and teens about finance. So, and today, I'm here to talk about what I love doing most, what I'm super excited to do, and that is finance, financial literacy. It's a very interesting topic, and I discovered that it's a wonderful skill that we all need, whether you're conscious about it or not. It's something you do almost every day, but we don't have a school for it. Even when we go to school, we are not being taught about financial skills. And sometimes, even at home, we are not really being taught, maybe the way you're being taught any other subject at school. You're not being taught about financial skills that way, even at home. Maybe some people with their parents might have a casual talk about finance, but not everybody have the opportunity to have parents, to really sit them down and teach them about finance. So it's an essential skill, but it's something that we don't get to be taught, in the four walls of school. So it's very essential that we go all out, to acquire some knowledge and skills as regards our finance and money. So today we will have a discussion around that. We all have different perspective as regards money, different things about money. And the truth is that the society we found ourselves as giving us an unhealthy and unbalanced view of money. Now, part of the unhealthy view of money is karma, and that is someone using money in a bad way, So it doesn't mean that is what money is, but it's someone handling the money that is using it in a bad way. So society has given us healthy, unbalanced way of view about money. And sometimes people have defined success, the success in life, as the amount of money you have. I was thinking maybe somebody was going to talk about that, real estate shares, okay. So they has given us, what do you call it? To acquire things. Money is just about acquiring things, success in life, the society, the social media, everything has given us that view that is what money is. But money is beyond that. I love what somebody wrote. It said, is a means, currency used to exchange goods, products, and services. And that is it. Money is not real. It's just a symbol. It's a means of exchange. So you have to get, anytime you think about money, think about an exchange of value, exchange of solving problems. That is what money is all about. It's all about exchange. That's why they call it currency. Currency, because it flows. So you determine where it flows to, the direction the money is going to flow to. You determine it. So you don't allow money to control you. You don't allow money to be your master. You make sure that you're in control of it. It's currency. You channel it. Someone is channeling in the wrong path, and that's why we see a lot of fake things online. because someone is not making good use of money. So one of the things I want to explain to you about money is that it's an exchange of goods and services with each other. So your perception about money will determine how you use it, whether you maximize it or you waste it. So it's very important. One of the things I want you to get out of from this day is money is an exchange of value. So anytime you desire to have money, anytime you desire more money or something, think of value. Think of solving problems. Think of, okay, what can I do to add value? What can I do to solve problems? What can I do, whether products or services, so that I can get money in exchange? What does success mean to you? Success is about adding value, getting to where I was destined to get to, achieving all the goals and plans and purposes. Now, while you're achieving your goals, your plans and purposes, let it also be about affecting your world. So your goals, your plans, your purposes should be affecting your world. It's supposed to be, making a change to something. So don't let your goals, your success just to be about me, about getting, about acquiring, about buying, latest thing. I want to buy iPhone 12 Pro Max. I want the latest Adidas. I want PS5. I want these. I want that. Don't make success to be like about getting and getting. I know somebody will say, when you get all the get, you can all the can. Let it be about also affecting someone's life, about changing someone's life, in your little way, about making a difference. So success is not just about acquiring money, acquiring properties, stocks, investment and all. It's also about affecting someone, making a change, be a problem solver, doing something different, from the way you meet them. So it's very important. And I really love your perspective about success. I didn't have anybody saying that success is about the amount of cars you have, amount of houses you buy, maybe your stock market or your Bitcoin wallets, your cryptocurrencies and all. I really, really love that. So the first thing first is about your perception about money, and which I've talked about, which is about creating value, is an exchange. So anytime you desire to have money, or anytime you think about having more money, it should be about thinking of the value you can create, looking about solving a problem, and definitely money will flow towards you because it's currency. When they say currency, it means current. That means it can't stay somewhere. It has to flow. Even when you put your money in bank, the bank is using it for something and they're giving you whatever returns on it. So it's not as if when you put money in the bank, it's sitting down there doing nothing. It's currency. It can't stay. It has to flow, flow, currency, current. So it has to flow. So it's very important that we have the right perspective about money. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is, I love this because when I teach people, I always tell people that, you see, money, when people hear about money or financial literacy, what comes to their mind is how to make money. Like maybe you're thinking, I'm going to teach you how to make 10,000 pounds or dollars or something, or how do I make my first pound, or how do I make my first dollar or something. No, money is not, it doesn't start from just making. It's about your behavior. It's about your thinking. So the first thing you need to even get right is about your perspective, your thinking, your habits, and some other things, even before now thinking about making more money. And that's why you see that someone that make money accidentally, maybe lottery or something, you can go and make your research. Put it on Google, people that really want money through lottery. You see that after some time, you don't get to hear about them because they make that money by chance. It wasn't something they built. It wasn't a process that they built. And that's why you see some of those role models that really built wealth. They will tell you, even if you take it out from me, I was reading about, I want to remember this particular brand designer that something happened to her. I think the old warehouse or something was taken over, and she started from the scratch. And she's still making, because she's solving a problem. She's meeting a need. So it's not something, it's not money she got by chance or something. So it's very important that all these things, they are foundation and they're very essential. Even when I teach adults, I tell them that, you see, these things are very, very essential. And I want to say congratulations to you, because you are getting to hear this, you know, at the very early stage. I wish some of those things I teach now, you know, I know them when I was a bit younger, you know. Definitely financially, I would have maybe done better, you know, create more solutions, had values, and do a lot of things more than what I'm doing currently. You know, because all we just think about is earning. You know, how to earn more money, how to have more money, but we don't talk about some of these things, and they're underlying factor. You know, they're very essential. What I'm trying to get out from this question is that your mindset about money. And most times our mindset about money is something we do unconsciously. And most times it's picked from people around us, your parents, your guidance, people that you live around, your environment, your culture. You know, those are the ways we pick those mindsets. And sometimes they're not healthy for us. Now, let me give you, we have limiting mindset, and we have good or healthy mindset. So there is something they call money mindset. And that's what I just explained, that there are things you do unconsciously, or while you're not aware of it, you just do it. You know, now some of you, it's taking you time to pick some of those things you do with money, because there are things you just do, you know, unconsciously. There are things you don't know, you just do them, you know, about money. And that is one of the things I want you to learn from this class, is that you pay attention to how you relate with money, so that you will know if you're having a good one or a bad one. And you'll think of, how do I change, or how do I move away from bad or limiting money mindset. So one of the things I want you to do after today is that look at how you relate with money. You know, some people believe that, okay, some set of people are rich, and maybe they're specially created by God, you know, for them to be rich. And some people are just, maybe that's where they have been made by God, you know, to be a bit average, just in a little space. You know, some people are just created to be poor, but that's not it. You know, it's a limiting mindset. It's the mindset that is not healthy. You know, God created every one of us equally. You know, so whatever we do with whatever we have is left to us. You know, God does not impose anything on us. He gives us our will to make choices. So we have choices to make, and that's why you have to make good choices, good money decision making. So it's very, very important. And your money mindset shapes your attitude, how you relate with people, you know, how you relate with people. And also it's very important that we have good money mindset. So let me give you an example of healthy money mindset. You know, for example, you say, I have the freedom to spend, but I can also tell myself no to purchase. Meaning that it's not every time you have money, you have to spend them. Those are healthy money mindset. It's not every time you have money, you have to spend. You know, people are, yes, I really say some people are obsessed with money. Yes, it's not good. It's not healthy for you to be obsessed with money. Money is just a tool. And that's why I said, when I asked you what about money, it's about exchange of value. So you have to tell yourself it's good for you to spend, to enjoy spending, shopping and all. Well, sometimes you have to be able to say no to some things. It's not every time you have to spend. Now, another thing is, I enjoy helping others who are struggling by giving generously. Giving is something that's very important. It's very, very, very important. You know, if you want to make more money, you have to learn how to give. And if you look at our billionaires around, you see that most times they are philanthropists, the people that give. So it's very important. It's a very good, healthy money mindset you have to cultivate. You know, to always give to people, no matter how small it is. Even from that little you think you have, always learn to share. You know, sharing is something that's very important. Another thing is that you don't have to compare yourself to others. Yes. You know, whatever your parents gives to you, whatever parents you can afford, you know, whatever thing the capacity your parents have, you have to be content with it. You know, you have to be content with it. So it's very important. that you're content with what you have and you don't compare yourself, with others. And also another thing I would like to talk about is that every time I part with money, I say a bit of gratitude. There's always more where that came from. It's very important that we also practice gratitude. That's another healthy money mindset. You don't say, oh, I just finished spending this, where will another money comes from, or whatever it is. So it's very important that you practice a bit of gratitude. Money affirmations means that saying something positive, about you and about money. So I do it a lot. I say I have quite a number of them, just to help my mind to think healthy about money. So just the word they say, affirmations. Affirmation is just repeating to yourself or confirming to yourself what you know about money. So I have a lot. I love money. Money loves me. I have more than enough money. I am sensible with money. I manage it wisely. So there are a lot of them. So you also want to start cultivating the habit of saying positive money affirmations to yourself. It helps you to have the right energy, have the right mindset about money. It's very important. My life is full of wealthy beyond money. I'm worthy of making more money. My bills are paid on time and in full every month. I'm aligned with the energy of abundance. There is no limit to the amount of money I'm capable of earning. So it's just about saying positive things, about yourself and also about money. So it's important that you also practice saying good things, positive things about money. Some of us have some bad habits we really need to work on. Very important that we need to work on it. So let's look at the ways we form money habits. Parents, guiding, significant people around us, culture and society, social media. There's a way social media shapes your money habits, because social media is there to take money. Adverts, generally, advertisement is to take money away from you. So every time, yes, influences. So social media influences us. And what the influence is all about? Is to spend. So social media is there for you. You see adverts, you see this, you see that, you want to buy this, you want to persuade you. Yeah, thank you, Evi. Persuade you and all, for you to want to spend and spend and spend and spend. So it's good that you also know where how you form some of these habits. So if you're the kind of person that maybe social media influences you or persuade you to spend more than necessary, you have to work on that, and try to cop that. So let's look at some of the bad money habits that we might have. Okay, the first thing is shopping when you're bored. A lot of people shop when you're bored. That's not a good habit. I'm just bored, so let me spend money. That's not unhealthy. That's not a good way, to spend. Yes, we have misleading habits really to bad habits. Yes, that's true. So shopping when you're bored is one of the bad habits, that you want to work on if you have it. Impulse buying is that once you see this, you want to get it. Everything you see you like, you want to get. No, you have to be able to control your appetite. You have to control your desire. You have to be able to control your desire. So it's not everything that you desire or you even want, you have to buy. You have to say to yourself, no. When I go to work, I have a certain amount of money I spend each day, despite the fact that I work. And I make sure that I don't go over that particular amount every day. So when I see my colleague buying something, even when I feel like buying it, if what I budgeted to spend in a day is not going to fit in for that particular thing, I'm not going to buy it. So I tell myself, okay, I'll save up for it. I'll save up for it. Maybe it's something that I like, maybe it's a food or a drink or something. And I know that I can't afford it at a particular time. I tell myself I save up for it. So maybe after 2 days, then I can buy it. So impulse buying is not everything. It's not everything you desire. It's not everything you see that you must buy. You have to control yourself. You have to be able to say no to some things. It's very important. Now, shopping for status, shopping to put on Snapchat, to put on TikTok, to put it on, what else do we have? Yes, delayed gratification. So you You want to shop so that people can see you. You have a new hair, I have a new shoe, I have a new bag, I have a new wristwatch, I have this and that. That's not a good habit. You don't shop because you want to impress people, because people don't really, nobody really cares about it. Deep down, they really don't care about it. So you don't shop for status, you don't shop to, and the truth is that most of the things we see on social media are not real. Social media is a fake life. So if you're someone that is being affected by social media, you have to talk to yourself. Most of the things you see, on social media are not real. A lot of people go in debt to get some of the things you're seeing. A lot of people borrow some of the things, they show you and you think that they own them. So you don't shop to impress people. It's a bad habit. Now, some people also waste. Wastage is something that people don't pay attention to, but people waste money a lot, and it's a bad habit. So you have to be conscious of, how do I waste money? Maybe you buy food, you buy food that you know that you won't be able to finish, and you waste it at the end of the day. That's wastage. Why don't you buy something that you know that you can finish at a time and you don't have to waste? So no matter how it is, wastage is wastage, whether little or nothing. You see those little things, if you add it up, it's gonna amount to something big at the end of the day. And come to think of it, there's somebody somewhere, that little thing that you think you're wasting, when the person sees that thing, you'll be grateful that they have that little thing. So wastage is something that you have to also look out for. Try as much as possible. You don't waste electricity, you don't waste water, you don't waste, just name it. You don't waste things. You don't buy things you know that you will not need, because it's wastage. Some of you bought a dress, maybe it's not going to fit you, but because you just feel like you like this dress, you bought the dress, and the dress is at home, you're not wearing it. So you have to also look around wastage. And the last thing is borrowing. Borrowing is not a good habit. Try to run away from it. Try to run away from it. Borrowing is not something, it's not an habit you want to encourage. So if you want to cut off borrowing, that means that you have to be able to be satisfied with whatever you have. If you can't afford something at a time, tell yourself, I can't afford it. I'll wait till when I can afford it and buy it. Don't be ashamed to tell people, I can't afford this now. So when you can't afford it, what you think, okay, what value can I create, to get money and also be able to afford what I want. So I'll quickly run through good money habits. So let's look at the other parts, the good parts. Number one is contentment, as in I think it's a gift that you need to just pray to God to help you to have it, because once you have that thing, that contentment, it solves a lot of problems. Even as you grow up to be an adult, you're not pressured, you're not stressed, because you enjoy where you are, you enjoy the status that you have. It doesn't mean that you're complacent, no, but with what you have at the moment, you're content with it, and you look forward, okay, how do I improve on what I have? So it helps you when you're content. You don't compare yourself to others. You don't try to impress others. You live within your means. And even right now that you're still with your parents, you're content with what your parents can afford. The car they're driving, the houses you're living in, you're content with it, because that's what your parents can afford at this moment. So contentment is something that you really, really have to learn. Another thing is giving. I think I've said it earlier on, that giving is something that you have to cultivate. Always give. Give us and never lack. If I'm giving you, look at my hand. I want to give this person something. Where's my hand? My hand is up. So definitely every time you give, it's a universal rule. Anytime you give, your hand will always be up. It's a universal law of multiplication. So even in the little you have, learn how to share, learn how to give, in a little way, whichever way. And giving does not have to be money alone. Give your time, give your resources, give your knowledge. Something, there's a particular subject you're very good at, share with other people, teach them. So giving is not just about money. You know, give your time, give your resources. You know, somebody is down or something bad happens to the person, you empathize, you sympathize, you know. So giving, you have to always learn to give. Another thing is be a savvy shopper. Now, for me, one of the things I do is that every time I'm going out to spend, I always look for the best deal, you know, and always look for how to cut costs. It's something that you might want to try. So every time, because something is expensive does not mean that is original. So the prices of things should not validate whether it's. So look around. Is there a sales going on? How can I cut costs? Do I have coupons or something? So always look around on how to cut costs every time you're spending. And every time you're spending, you don't have to spend everything. So if you're giving maybe £20 or something, look for a way that from that £20, even while you're buying, you get the best deal. And maybe you still have tools, whatever. You didn't spend everything. So always look for a best deal, you know, and cut costs every time. Another thing is always track your expenses. So if you're someone that they give you income allowances or something, always know how you spend your money. So if I'm going to ask you, maybe your last allowance, how did it go? So I don't know. I finish it. I don't know. It's not a good habit. It's something that you have to start learning. So I have £100, okay. So I spent 5 these from these, 10 from these. So always track your expenses. Hires and hazards. If I tell you something, that I have a book on my salary every month, I have the way I spend them, and I can tell you everywhere the little part of my money, I can tell you where it went to. So ever since I tried doing that, it helps me to be more financially. I'm trying to look for the word it is, but as an adult, it has helped me, you know, to be accountable. Let me use the word accountable. So another thing is read financial books. So for people that like reading books, if I'm going to ask you, that how many of you have read books on finance, maybe I'll get one. So if you're bookworm, you have to get yourself, you have to equip yourself. Don't just read school books, don't just read story books, don't just read motivational books, get financial books. Rich Dad Poor Dad is something I'm going to recommend to you anytime, any day. Rich Dad Poor Dad, and there's a thin version for it. So you want to get Rich Dad Poor Dad thing. You want to get cash flow quadrant is a game. You want to get Monopoly, you know, get yourself knowledgeable about financial skills. Google, what are the financial books for teens? Look for books, look for YouTube channels you can follow that talk about money. So the more you get more knowledge about it, it's going to help you even when you get to adulthood. So it's very important that you read books on finance. So this is what budgeting is all about. In a plain language, budgeting is just having a spending plan. That's just it. So it's about planning your spending. It's just a big English. But the main thing is about you plan how you spend your money. That's what budgeting is all about. And how you can start your budgeting is firstly to know how much comes in. That's the first determining factor of your budgeting, how much money comes in. So if you're saying daily, weekly, monthly, you know, whether you do daily, weekly, or monthly, it depends on how money comes in for you. Some people have their money daily. Some people have theirs weekly. Some people have theirs monthly. So it depends on how money flows to you will determine how you do it. But basically, the first thing you have to know is how much money comes in. So because whatever comes in determines what you budget on. You don't budget and have deficit. No. So if, for example, £100 comes to you daily, whatever thing you're going to budget should be within that £100, because that will be like a guideline to how much you can spend. So you don't go outside that £100 because you know that that is what you have. So For example, you have £100. So whatever thing you're going to list on how you want to spend the money must not be more than. So the first thing is, you know how much comes in. So how much of that amount gives you, or do you have a side business that you do, what profit comes in? You know, there are ways you get your income. So budgeting is income and expenses. So the first thing is how much money comes in, which is your income. Then you now look at how does money comes in, daily, weekly, monthly. That's another thing. Then you now look at other sources of how money comes in. So money can come in as allowance, it can come as commissions, it can come as gifts, it can come as maybe your dad or your mom has stocks in your name, so you have maybe interest or dividend or something. So you have to list out your source of income. That's the first thing you have to know. That's the second thing. First thing is to know how much comes in. Sorry, second thing is how does the money comes in, daily, weekly, or monthly. And the last thing is, you know, what are your sources of income? So how many sources of income do you have? You know, the way money flows to you. Now, the second thing you have to also know is expenses. So what are the basic things you spend money on? I'm going to digress a little bit. For you to do your expense projection well, you have to know what do you need and what you want per time. So you have to be able to differentiate your needs from your wants per time. So for me, I see needs are things that are basic, like without it, you can't enjoy your day-to-day activities. For example, food is a need. At least your basic, maybe your breakfast, your lunch, and dinner. Maybe any other anyone that comes in between is just, but at least when you have your breakfast, your lunch, and dinner, I think that's a basic need. So every other snack coming in and there are not necessarily important. You can do without them, you know, after having your real meal. So your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner are very important. So you have to also identify things you need. So like I said, needs are things that you really need. So if you're going to have transportation to school, you know that if you're going to pay for transportation to school or something, you know that transportation to school is very important. So you have to be able to identify what are your basic needs. And when I ask people to do budgeting, I always ask you that you put savings in your budgeting, meaning that you should not spend all the money that comes to your hand every time. There should be a portion that you keep aside, whether daily, whether weekly, whether monthly. It's something that is very important. So in your budgeting list, let savings should be part of it. It's a must. Savings should be part of it. So you don't eat everything you have at hand. You don't spend everything you have at hand. No matter how small it is, keep something aside. And like I said, make sure that your expenses are not more than your income. When you have more expenses than your income, that means that you're in debt. So it's very important that you put that in place also. Identify your income, identify your expenses, look at the basic things you need money for. So, and if you don't need money for anything, please save. Tell dad and mom to help you to invest after some time. Have a projection, have a goal, you know. Don't say I'm still a teenager, have a goal. I wish maybe when I was a bit younger, I have a goal. I saw something on the internet a few days ago, and I was asking that, when do you make your first million? I was like, wow, I wish I know this earlier, you know. I will have a goal, you know. It's just when you have a goal, it gives you direction. So for like you can start having financial goals, you know, things that you want to achieve, and start using that particular money that you're not spending, you know, try to channel it in the right direction. So I'll be stopping here tonight. I want to do a little recap of what I've been saying since morning. So I started with perception about money. What is money? We spoke about our different perception, what we believe about money. And I rounded it up by saying that money is a currency and as a means of exchange of value, you know, whether through goods or services. So it's important that when you think about money, Let it be something that you think about exchange, exchanging values, solving problems, and we talk about mindsets, having good mindset, healthy mindset. We talk about habits, having good habits. We look at bad habits, good habits. I know some of us have started notifying, highlighting some of the bad habits we need to work on, and also the good ones that we need to get better at. So if you get better at, if you are not spending, you can get better at savings. If you save, you can get better at investing. So we looked at good money habits and bad money habits. And then lastly, I just talked about budgeting and how you can do a simple budget. It's a simple thing, it's not difficult. And it's just about, like I said, planning your spending, give it a direction. And I said something very important, that you don't spend everything you have. Make sure that you're setting a little apart to save. Don't always spend everything you have. Because you have £100, because you have £500, doesn't mean that you spend everything that day. So see there's opportunity to also save a little out of it. It's very important. It's an habit you really want to imbibe, and by the time you get harder to, you'll be grateful that you have that particular habit. So I think I would stop here. This is 9:30, okay, 8:30 here. So I will be stopping here, and would like to take questions so that we can call it the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Wuraola. Thank you for those nuggets that you have given on to us. So next time, would love you to share this and bring in more people. We want more people to be empowered on monthly basis. Personal development, these are things that are not taught in schools. Even if it's one thing that you have taken away today, it can turn your life around 360 degrees. So thank you for joining. Have a lovely weekend. Until we come together again next month, I say bye to you all. Well done. Bye.